everyone, it's Johnny Steve here again, and I've got another haul video for you today, a vinyl haul. This is just a roundup of the last lot of things that I purchased in 2019, and also if you stick around to the end of the video I have some gig footage. A gig I went to on my birthday actually last month, and it was, if you remember the bands Dodgy and the Blue Tones and the Seahorses from the 90s, well, the lead singers of those bands, Chris Helm, Nigel Clark and Mark Morris respectively, probably not in the right order, Mark Morris from the Blue Tones, Chris Helm from the Seahorses, I'm reading this off the screen, and Nick Clark from Dodgy. They were doing an acoustic set at the place called Ferret, which is one of my favourite venue because it's not far from where I live. And yeah, so we went and it was a really good night, so stick around to the very end of the video for that. And yeah, so vinyl haul time. Okay, so first up, now if you've been watching my videos for quite a while, you might remember one I made beginning of last year, springtime-ish, when I was on the market and I was looking through a box of records and I saw this, not this particular copy. The one I saw first was in a terrible state and I didn't buy it, and then a couple of weeks later I went to the market again on a different store and I found it again, and it was in a much better condition and it was the same price, £3. And yeah, so I've been hanging on to this for a while for some reason. I keep forgetting, it keeps getting missed out of hauls, so yeah, so I'm going to show it now. So yeah, this is the Good For Nothing, the Sounds album. So Sounds was a music paper in the UK up until, I'm not sure when it was, 70s, 80s maybe. This is from the mid to late 70s. I will try and find a date somewhere, but no, I can't seem to see one. This says here, this album is free, available only to readers of Sounds and may not be sold. So I really should have got this for nothing really, so yeah, I don't know now, I just picked it up and walk away. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a bit of a sucker for a good compilation. Hi Herb, that's Herb, he's in the kitchen. And especially if it's a compilation with stuff on it that I've never heard before. And this was bands that I've heard of, but songs I've not heard, or songs or bands I've not heard of before, if that makes sense. There you go, I'll just go through the tracks for you. It starts off with Eric Clapton, Hello Old Friend, which is okay. Not crazy fan about Eric Clapton. Crosby Nash, Spotlight, a rather upbeat Crosby Nash song, probably because Stephen Stills wasn't involved. The Pat Travers, You Don't Love Me, that's fantastic, a really good track, that one. The Jam, Art School, I really like that, it's very punky. The Jam, I don't hate them, but I wouldn't say I was a super fan or anything, but yeah, I really like that one. Gene Clark in the Pines. Yeah, it's growing on me, that one. I've listened to it a few times now. Yeah, I know a lot of people really rate Gene Clark. Not really a big fan of country, but yeah, that one's alright. In the Pines. Charlie, Don't Look Back. Alright, the Jack Bruce Band. House Tricks, that's really good. I'm really enjoying that one. And side one finishes with Doctors of Madness. I think they're a Manchester band, a Manchester psych band. Might be getting that wrong. The track Out, that's really good, really bizarre. So yeah, side two starts Blackmore's Rainbow and the track Starstruck. Oh, really good, can't beat a bit of Dio. Followed by, oh, and this is where it got really interesting. No, I'd never heard this track before, and it's now one of my favourite songs. The Steve Gibbons Band, Right Side of Heaven and Roll It On. When this came on, the Right Side of Heaven is a kind of like a bit of an a cappella, a bit sort of barbershop quartet-ish, so I was listening to it and thinking, oh, this is a bit weird, and then this happened. It's So yeah, I was pretty much obsessed with that track for a long time. I just love that riff, love the way the drums work in this. It's one of my favourite tunes of the minute. Really chuffed to find that. Hi Herb. Yes, it is good, and I have played it a lot. Mo's asleep, so don't wake him up. So yeah, big bonus to find that one. Easy Streets, Feels Like Heaven, and not the same song as Feels Like Heaven from Fun Factory. Was it Fun Factory? Or Fear Factory, what were they called? Fiction Factory even. So yeah, not the same. Feels Like Heaven. It's a different one, and it's okay. It's not great. Golden Earring, Bombay. It's all right. Pace, Ashton Lord. Dance with Me, Baby. So yeah, as you may have noticed, something I don't know whether they did this deliberately, but side one starts with Eric Clapton and also has Jack Bruce on it, and of course both of those people were in Queen. And side two has Blackmore's Rainbow and Pace, Ashton Lord, which were both part of Deep Purple. And when I played this to Ed and we listened to the side two, after listening to the Pace, Ashton Lord track, Ed quipped and said, "Yeah, I think Blackmore won that round." Yeah, it's not a great song. It's very, very generic, very sort of, ooh, dance with me, baby, dance with me, baby. Whereas Blackmore's Rainbow is just fucking genius, you know. Yeah, it's a shame. Ashton, Pace, Ashton Lord, was actually born in Blackpool. For a bit of trivia. And then we have the Atlanta Rhythm section, Sky High. Sadly not the same song as the Jigsaw song, Sky High, but still a very good song. I like that one. And then it finishes with Barclay James Harvest. Titles. And as Ed pointed out, Ed, my friend Ed, you may have seen him on a few videos, he used to be the singer in a Yes tribute band called Say Yes. And he said, oh yeah, we opened for Barclay James Harvest in Norwich. And I just about summed it up. There's no shame on that, on Ed's Yes tribute band, but oh my god, I can't stand this song. It's basically titles. If you don't know it, it's just Beatles song titles sung. I mean, and it's like the most laziest bit of songwriting I think I've ever heard. It's terrible. It's Lady Madonna, let it be, blah, blah. Oh, it's shit. I hated it. So unfortunately that finishes off the end of side two. Yeah, but all in all, a great compilation. I would recommend picking this up if you ever see it anywhere. And Herb, what do you want? I'm waiting for an answer. Okay, just 1 minute, I need to feed him. Okay, cat duty's done with, and we shall move on, shall we? Alright, may have said this before, but I'm a bit of a sucker for 50s rock and roll, and particularly Little Richard, one of my favourite performers of all time, one of my favourite vocalists of all time. This was 50p on the market. The incredible Little Richard sings his greatest hits, recorded live. It's okay, it's not one of the best, it's not like a compilation of his actual hit songs. They are recorded live. He really does rattle through these songs on the side one. You look at it, it's got Tutti Frutti, Keep It Knocking, Rip It Up, Jenny Jenny, Bama Lama, Bama Lou, Long Tall Sally, Ready Teddy, Slippin' and Sliding. He literally plays like a minute of like a verse and a chorus of each song, and he goes to the next one. So it's okay. It's an interesting thing. The recording's not of great quality. True Fine Mama, Bonnie Maroney, Lucille, Bring It On Home to Me, Do You Feel It, and then a whole lot of shaking going on. So yeah, 50p, bit of Little Richard, why not? Alright, and then we're going to leave Bowie behind, Bowie 12 inch, this is Let's Dance. Very, very flimsy 80s cover, but yeah, Let's Dance, can't beat it. And another 12 inch, the S Express. The theme from S Express. Now, this is more like it. Check this out cover out. It's almost like an LP. It's got its own in sleeve and everything. I think Graham Cracking Vinyl showed this not too long ago. But yeah, brilliant song from the late 80s. Can't go wrong. Enjoy this trip. The B-side is The Trip, Microdot House mix. It's the same song as the A-side, just a different mix. Oh, and this was an example of when you go into a charity shop and there's nothing there and you don't want to leave empty-handed. And I was looking at this. This is Jack Mix 88, the best of Mirage. So I didn't know what this was. I mean, back in the 80s, back in 88, I would have avoided this like a burning hospital. But I looked on the back and it's got like tons and tons of tracks on it. And I should have known that there was something up, judging by all look how many songs there are. I was looking at it thinking, oh, there's some stuff on here which is alright, I guess, it's got respectable, no, I'm kidding. It's got, some sort of dance stuff on it from the 80s. I thought maybe there'd be something on there that, Pump Up the Volume, Call Me, System of a Final, Bad, Don't Stop Jamming, Walk the Dinosaur. But these aren't the real songs. This is just like a shitty remix, really. It's just like a drum machine going all the way through, and some other. I'm guessing these people just singing a couple of lines from each of these. Nearly sort of 90 songs. So yeah, this is actually one of the worst records I own. So now I've got something I can test. I can do cleaning tests and shit on this. So I can't shit on it. Well, I would shit on it, but that would be very uncouth. Anyway, forget that. So I pity the fool who paid £6 for this back in 1988. Right, and from something terrible to something fantastic, I got myself a Captain Beefheart and the Magic Band. Back chain puller, shiny beast. Shiny beast, back chain puller. I do like a bit of Captain Beefheart. This is my only Captain Beefheart vinyl. I've got Chart Mask on CD. This is really good, really like this track. The Floppy Boot Stomp, of course, a bit of classic. Well, the Candle Mambo, Love Lies. Suction Prince is probably my favourite track on this album. The keyboards on that is sublime. But then I have to stop the album before Apes Ma, because not because it's a bad track, it just creeps me out too much. It's just too weird. If you know it, you probably know what I'm talking about. And let me know if you like Apes Ma by Captain Beefheart. It's just too weird for me sometimes. I'm only joking, of course. And of course some Don Van Vliet artwork. But yeah, just to find that. Alright, one of the greatest films ever made, the Blues Brothers soundtrack. Happy to get this. I rewatched Blues Brothers maybe a month or two ago, and it's still one of the funniest films I've ever seen. It's still some of the best music. I mean, I highly recommend, I'm assuming you've seen the film. If you haven't seen the film, by all means, go and try and find it now. But there's a documentary, I think it might be on YouTube somewhere, that the making of, and that'll just blow your mind what they went through. I mean, you'd never ever do anything to that on that scale these days. I mean, the amount of kind of police cars they wrecked and things like that, you know, and just the amount of extras they had, and just the way they made it, just blows your mind. But of course, I'm sure you're all familiar with the music on here, so very happy to pick up this, and it's also on Atlantic. There you go. Okay, Come is the name of the band. 1111 is the name of the album. Yeah, I saw this in a charity shop, and it was just a couple of quid, and I didn't really know anything about it. I'd never heard of the band, but just looking at the cover, you know, it's like when you're flipping through boxes and boxes of easy listening and like that kind of pap. Something about it sort of said this might be something interesting, so I grabbed it, and it's okay. It's 90s grunge guitar sort of band. I'm sure there's someone out there might correct me as to what kind of genre it is, but it's very 90s, very guitar heavy. I think you can probably tell. Well, you can tell that whoever was the main protagonist in the band was the guitar player, because it's just all guitars, and he likes the sound of his own guitar. There's a couple of good tracks. The opening track, Submerge, is quite good. It's a female singer, but it's a bit of a downer, really. It's a bit kind of like, you know, that kind of Generation X, sort of like, you know, everything's lame.
Oh, here comes that cannonball guy. He's cool.
Are you being sarcastic, dude?
I don't even know anymore.
So it's hard to describe, really. But yeah, it was alright. It's okay. I'm glad I picked it up, but it's not something I'm going to be putting on in a hurry again. And finally, an album which I've seen quite a few people pick up in VC over the last year or so, and it's this Men at Work, Business as Usual. So yeah, of course, we all know the track Down Under. Every time I hear that song, it's one of the most evocative pieces of music for me. It just takes me straight back to 1982, when I was 11 years old. Every time I hear it, I'm just thinking of like Kinder Eggs and Lego and things like that. It must have come out in the winter time, I think, maybe around my birthday. So, but this is really good. Yeah, very impressed with this. Who Can It Be Now is the opening track, which for years I was like, whenever everyone mentioned Down Under, I was, yeah, but you remember the other song did, Who Can It Be Now? And everyone was like, it was a bit forgotten. Well, or overshadowed, really, I should say, by Down Under. But yeah, worth picking up this if you ever see it. Be Good Johnny is really good. People Just Love to Play with Words is really good. It's all really good, actually. Down Under, Men at Work, Business as Usual. I would recommend if you see this. I mean, I found this in the charity shop, so I guess it must be reasonably easy to find. And it's on Epic. When it focuses. Here we go. Okay, that was it for the vinyl finds. Thank you very much for watching. I'll leave you now with some footage courtesy of my good friend Lee of the gig we went to. There's a few clips, and at the end they all got together on stage and did a version of Old Man by Neil Young, one of my favourite songs. I'm not sure if you can hear me in the background singing along, but I had a few people looking at me and say you're singing louder than the band. It was my birthday, and it was also my works too, so it'd been a very long day in the pub. So yeah, great gig, great night. So yeah, thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Someone to love me the whole Nothing you say can upset us. We're the MTV generation.
We feel neither highs nor lows.
Really? What's it like?
Eh.
Well,